Jeff and Jeremy live here.
Well, he's coming back. Big news over the weekend. Big news over the weekend is that Tom Brady will be, looks like playing football again. Will he be a Buck? That one's hard to say. Chris, right now I think he's got a contract, and I think he's got to deal with a couple of things. He's got to get out of an on-trade clause. But if you didn't hear the full report, here it is.
Tom Brady is coming back for a 23rd season. He just announced on Twitter that, and let me read it to you right now, these past 2 months are the field, not in the stands. That time will come, but it is not now. Unfinished business. So that is why the Tampa Bay Buccaneers have not replaced Tom Brady at quarterback, because he's coming back.
Will he be a Buck, Jeff?
I think so, yeah. Everything that I'd heard said that every indication was that he will be a Buck, that he said he's going to play for Tampa Bay as a result of this. So all the Niners' wet dreams of having Tom Brady play there for his swan song is... I think that's gone away. I had an outside hope that he might want to play for Pete Carroll for a year while they coach up whatever draft pick quarterback they get. But then,
that is a pipe dream. If anybody had a wet dream, that is the wettest of the wets. I mean, that's because
absolutely. And then news broke on Friday afternoon that Deshaun Watson was going to. They're not quite like that. Deshaun Watson, is in the sweepstakes with 4 teams. One of those teams being the Seattle Seahawks. Seems like
I hear Saints. This is what I saw this morning out of Sports Illustrated. Saints, Panthers are the ones that are really making the run at him. Seattle, is it really? They're in the conversation.
Saints and Panthers already have offers on the table. But he has a no-trade clause as well. So if you want to talk in terms of minutes played last year, he was the highest-paid quarterback in all the NFL. He'd have to play a single down. Yeah. He made like $33 million.
I wonder if there was any rules for Deshaun Jackson, like you can't go on vacation. No,
Deshaun Watson.
You're not leaving the country. Deshaun Watson. What did I say, Jackson? Sorry, yeah. Deshaun Watson. Deshaun Watson. Who's Deshaun Jackson? Oh, he's a totally different. He's a running back. Anyways, Deshaun Watson. If there was like, you can't go to Mexico, you can't go out of the country, you can't go on vacation, and whatever you do, you can't fondle any women. All right, so keep your hands to yourself. All right, until we get this figured out. So the news with Deshaun Watson, from what I heard, was that he's been dropped. There's going to be no criminal charges filed at this point. They've decided to drop all that and just move on with civil cases. So that means he can trade, he can move, he can do whatever he wants. Is that correct?
Yes, but here's the caveat, is you got to remember, oh, God, when was it? Ben Roethlisberger got his suspension. I believe it was like 2009, 2008, something like that. There was one report of sexual misconduct, and they suspended him for 6 games. In the case of Deshaun Watson, there's 22 civil cases that are being filed against him. And those 22 civil cases we'll have to see, because Ben was given 6 games in a, let's just say the league at the time was not all Me Too movement.
Is it really fair that the league would come after him in a civil matter? Because think about it this way. If there's no legal charges that are pressed against him or that he's convicted of, then, it's his personal business. I mean, I know
that's what happened with Roethlisberger. Roethlisberger was not a situation in which he was found guilty. He was dismissed, but then there was a civil case brought upon him, and because he was in the civil case, he was acting in conduct detrimental to the league. Conduct detrimental to the league. Then that was a problem for the league, and they suspended him for 6 games. Now it got reduced to 4 games, but still, that was one allegation. There are 22 allegations against Deshaun Watson.
So a lot of big information happening over the course of a week in the NFL, especially over the weekend with Tom Brady announcing that he is going to return to the game. And where's Deshaun Watson going to go? I guess we'll just have to wait and see. Today on the show, we're giving away tickets to go see the Black Crowes, Shake Your Moneymaker Tour coming to Santa Barbara Bowl on Sunday, July 24th. We'll have tickets to this every single day this week. So 8:40 this morning. Make sure you're with us to try to win those. And Ron White's coming back to the Central Coast. He'll be at the Vina Robles Amphitheater on May the 7th, and we'll have tickets for that later if you know the show as well. So stick around. We'll be right back.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. 93.3 KCOZ.
Jeff and Jeremy, 8:07. I was reading this story this morning. This happened in Florida, so be careful when you go there on vacation this summer. There was an elderly woman down there, and she had a nickname. She was called the Hugging Bandit. And she was accused of pickpocketing strangers and pretending that she knew them. She'd be like, "Hey, how you doing? It's great to see you. I haven't seen you in so long." And she would give him a hug, and then she would pickpocket him. She was, how old was she? 70-something years old. Anyways, she was so good. I'm sorry, she's 65. She was so good. She literally, this one guy, she literally was able to take a credit card out of his wallet without him noticing it and put the wallet back in his pants.
Whoa.
And I'm guessing it must be one of those wallets like I used to have where they don't, they don't open. They're just, you slide the cards on
like a rubber band sides that keeps everything together.
Or I have one that's just like you put credit cards in and they're on the outside, and then the middle you can put like some money or something in. But she just took one of the cards, and he didn't realize it until she'd rang up over $1,000 on the card because she never took his wallet. So he just didn't recognize that one card was missing. Like I'm this way. I have a couple of credit cards, and a couple of them I don't really use that often.
This is why I don't hug people. So when people come up to me and give me a hug, I treat them like Jerry Seinfeld did to Kesha. Like, hey, no, I don't. Don't be coming up to me hugging me. I don't want a hug. I don't know you.
I'm a sucker for a hug. If somebody opens up their arms, I'm running in. I'm like, yeah, let's do it. All right. I mean, because what are you going to do? Like throw out the fist? You do the knucks out, the fist bump? There you go. Whoa, 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 whoa.
No, I back up and I throw my hands in the air. I'm like, stay away from me. I don't want cooties. I don't know you. Don't hug me. Hugging's for family.
Really?
That's it. Yes, I only hug my family members.
What about the man hug?
That's not true. Sometimes
the man hug is big around there.
I have a group of friends that I know inevitably somebody's going to come in and try to give me a hug, so I sit back and I take it like a man.
Go ahead.
All right.
Fill me up, take my money, whatever it is. At least I know you.
I guess it's hug time.
I don't know. What do you do if a stranger wants to hug you? Somebody, fist bump. The fist bump is okay. Or I'll do this one. Instead of the fist bump, it's the side fist bump.
What about
so it's just the side of
palm to the face? How's the palm to the face work?
Whack.
5 fingers to the face.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to go over very well. So I was thinking about this. I'm sure you've been places where you were told, like I remember, when I've gone on vacations or I've been anywhere and I'm in a crowd of people and, somebody will say, hey, be careful. They do a lot of pickpocketing here. I put my wallet or my money in my front pocket. And they do say it's better to do that because it's harder for front pocket than it is your back pocket. But what they recommend you doing is carrying some kind of satchel. Something with a zipper on it. And I'm very happy.
The Cal Poly game on Saturday.
I didn't have to because Suze had a French. I can't get to the text message now. She sent me a text message on Saturday with a picture of a fanny pack. And she's talking to the coach about me wanting one, and he got me one.
Coach Lee did?
Yeah. No, this guy. His name's Larry. She said, my friend Larry said you were crying about wanting a fanny pack. Well, I don't know if I was crying, but I definitely wanted one. And he got you one. So I've got a Cal Poly fanny pack coming. Wow. That's pretty awesome. Thank you, Larry.
When you wear the fanny pack, you wear it around. Where do you wear it? Like, do you wear it on the fanny or do you wear it on your waist? Where do you wear it?
Hip. Yeah, you got to wear it on the hip. Otherwise, you look like a dork. You got to wear it on the side.
No, there's no way you're escaping looking like a dork when you're wearing a fanny pack. So you might as well
now it's
own
utility
it,
belt. It's utility belt, Jeff. When you wear it on your hip, it's more of a utility belt. When you wear it in the front, you're a dork. When you wear it in the back, you're weird.
When you wear it on your hip, that's that's less dorky. Come on.
Listen, I only wear it when I told you when I'm going to go fly fishing. It's going to be that's what I'm going to keep my lures, my knife in, some other stuff because my waders have a pocket. But they don't. It's not big enough. So that's what I plan on doing with that Cal Poly fanny pack. Because you know what? You can buy them online, the waterproof ones, but they're $100. Like from these companies that make, stuff specifically for fishing. It's just a fanny pack, but it's $100 for a fanny pack. It's not even leather.
But it's a dry bag?
Waterproof. It'll stay dry.
That's pretty cool. A fanny pack you could go swimming with. I mean, I know it creates a lot of drag, but that's pretty
until I can get one on
jump
sale.
Out of the water. Like, think about it. Like, you're at the beach and you're a dork anyways. So you're going to own being a dork and you come out of the water and then you have a fanny pack on and you go, hey, ladies, can I get you some sunscreen?
What if you wear it around your chest like a rifle strap? You know what I mean? Like it's going around your shoulder, underneath. Yeah. And maybe slide it around the
dorky.
Back.
Still dorky.
I don't know. It looks kind of cool then.
There's not a good way you could wear a fanny pack. There's just not. Not at all. Nowhere. It doesn't look good anywhere.
You know what? Maybe I've just got to the age where I don't care anymore, Jeff.
Yes, that's the first sign that you've gotten to an age where you don't care anymore. When you're like, oh, no, fanny packs are great.
They're very convenient, I'm telling you.
Jeff and Jeremy in the morning. 93.3 KZOZ.
Things we didn't get to in hashtag form with Jeff and Jeremy in the morning.
Hashtag it's back. March Madness. Getting underway tomorrow with the play-in games. 2 games set to go on Tuesday, the 15th of March. Texas Southern taking on Texas A&M Corpus Christi, and Indiana taking on Wyoming Rothstein.
Wyoming
game.
What?
Wyoming Rothstein. I've never heard of them either, Jeff. Wednesday, it'll be Bryant versus Wright College, and Notre Dame taking on Rutgers. The official tournament starts on St. Paddy's Day, when all hell breaks loose, and they'll unleash the first round of tournament play. And, of course, all the way through the weekend. So, I got to tell you, I haven't watched a lot of college basketball this year. I know that Arizona's kicking ass. Number 1 seed out of the South, by the way. Your other number 1 seed is your favorite team out of Eastern Washington, Jeff. The Gonzaga Bulldogs lead with the number 1 seed coming out of the West. Baylor takes the number 1 seed out of the East, and Kansas, the number 1 seed out of the Midwest. Have you filled out your bracket yet? Have you already filled out your bracket this morning?
No, I don't think I will be filling out a bracket.
Not even for funsies, huh?
Unless Wyoming is able to advance. By the way, Rothstein was the guy that wrote the article that you were talking about. John Rothstein. University of Wyoming. Okay. Yeah, they had a good tournament. Apparently, Wyoming, and they knocked off the number 1 seed Boise State in the Mountain West.
It says here the number 12 Wyoming Rothstein. That's what it says on. I'm just reading. I don't know what these schools are.
That must be.
So you're telling me that's a typo?
Because I mean, let's face it. What's the population of Wyoming? I doubt they have branch campuses.
You know what?
And I doubt they have a town called Rothstein.
No, you're right.
Wyoming.
He's a play-by-play announcer.
Yes.
He's actually the reporter. So it's okay. I'm starting to see how it's broken down now. It's all squished together on my screen. So if I blow it up a little bit, I could see the games are on the left side, and to the right of it, it has the play-by-play analyst and reporter, which I'm guessing the reporter, what is he down on the court? Is it like going to the sidelines of a football game? Is that why they're listing the reporter? Like, who gives a crap?
Well, I think when you do that, you have to, like for Wyoming in particular, like you cover the basketball team, you do the play-by-play, you might even be the equipment manager when you do all that stuff for Wyoming, because it's Wyoming. Let's face it, not too many people there. So congratulations to them.
Anyways, so.
What are they, the Cowboys? What is Wyoming? Cowboys. Yeah, there you go, Wyoming Cowboys.
So St. Patty's Day in SLO is nuts. And Firestone, for example, is going to have everybody in there watching the first round of games. Yet they're also going to have all these, people in there for St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, it's my favorite. It's my favorite St. Patrick's Day when it falls on a Thursday because it's always the opening round of the NCAA tournament. So it is an added bow on the package of going out doing some day drinking for St. Patty's Day. I think that's great.
Will you be doing any St. Patty's Day drinking?
No, I don't believe so. I think I have a digital meeting at 1:00 on Thursday. So
it's funny because Mr. Skin does his tournament every year, and he gives away like best breasts and all that kind of stuff. And I was trying to get him to come on Thursday, and they're like, "Yeah, actually, we really like to start that night. We're going to really like to be on the show the following week." I'm like, "Oh, he doesn't want to work." Have to take our phone call and work on St. Patty's Day. Nobody wants.
Well, Chicago. I mean, he lives in Chicago,
Day.
So
yeah.
Chicago.
Is that where they do the river, dye the river green?
They dye the river green, and this will be like the first year that they get out. I'm sure he probably treats it with his staff as a national holiday in Chicago, because I believe everybody in Chicago and Boston treats St. Patrick's Day like a national holiday, and it's good when it's on Thursday here because it's a big deal around here too. When they do it on Thursday because people just take Friday off.
I just feel like now that, I was like, well, I'll come back on Thursday and I can be there Thursday if we're going to do something. But they didn't, management didn't want to do anything. So I was like, all right, I guess I'll come on Friday, but hoping to be there. There's no better place to be in San Luis Obispo on St. Patrick's Day. I mean, is Paso bringing, is Paso up? I mean, you got Pappy McGregor's. I mean, is Paso upping their game a little bit too?
Yeah, I mean, Pappy's is always packed. I mean, I think that's the only game in town.
Every
Donovan,
bar
Donovan
is
seems to specialize in the only game in town. Only Irish bar in town, only high-end cocktail speakeasy in town, only tiki bar.
Well, speakeasy, yes, but there's other great places to get cocktails in town.
Right, no, but as far as the speakeasy goes, he just opened up a tiki bar. That place has got a waiting
he's definitely
line.
got a theme thing going on there.
And he's got the, really, I mean, I know there's other seafood places in Paso, but it's the go-to for everybody with fish.
The gaucho,
so, yeah. Hashtag Soundgarden reunion, ? I know you can't put question marks in a hashtag, but I'm going to because this is radio, and we don't follow them anyways. Kim Thale is pretty certain that Soundgarden... Soundgarden fans will see him play on stage with Matt Cameron and Ben Shepherd, the other two surviving members of Soundgarden, again.
They should do this. Why wouldn't they do this? Especially when we've lost so many
Chris Cornell
cool rock stars. But Chris Cornell
is such a big part of the band.
Yeah.
I mean, his voice, how can it be replaced? I know Alice in Chains did it. They did a great job. I saw that they're headlining a tour with Bush and Breaking Benjamin, and they're playing huge amphitheaters as the headliner. So, tip of the hat to Alice in Chains for doing it. Maybe that's what Kim Thale's looking at, and he's like, hey, Soundgarden's doing it. Why aren't we doing it, guys? Come on, we got to get out there and make some cash. You know who they're talking about as possible replacement?
No, I don't.
For Chris Cornell? Brandi Carlile.
Really?
She did some songs with them at her concert. She did a concert at the Gorge in George, Washington. And she was doing her concert, and then she brought them out on stage, and they did like 2 or 3 Soundgarden songs. If you go and you YouTube Brandi Carlile Soundgarden, you can hear what she sounds like. She does Black Hole Sun. It's not bad, but it's definitely not Chris Cornell. That's my immediate thought. Chris Cornell is just so... His voice is just... I mean, it was the best, It was the best.
Interesting.
Anyways,
I'm interested now. I mean, if they're considering it, it must be worth a shot. Let's see. Hashtag Stop the Hate. Mila Kunis has been getting a lot of hate because she's been telling people that she's Russian her whole life, even though she's actually from her, family's from Ukraine.
I've always said I'm Russian. When I came to the States and I would tell people I'm from Ukraine, the first question I would get is, where's Ukraine? And then I'd have to explain Ukraine and where it is in the map. And I was like, oh, that's exhausting. But if I was like, I'm from Russia, people are like, oh, we know that country. Like instantly people were like, I know that red dot. And so I was like, great, I'll just tell people I'm from Russia. Well, hell no, I am from Ukraine. I mean, everything's changed.
Yeah, you don't want to claim Russia right now. She doesn't look Russian. When I think of a Russian person, I just think of a white, pasty person. I don't think of she's kind of got the olive skin, dark hair, dark eyes.
I feel her pain a little bit. I used to live outside of Seattle, and I went on vacation once to Cancun, and the people that we hung out with were these girls from New Jersey, but they lived right across the bridge, and they're basically from New York.
That didn't annoy you? The accent didn't annoy you after a while?
No, they were fun. And
which
they
translates to they were attractive.
Some of them were. But they were from New Jersey, and we would tell them that we were from Seattle. And then they thought that we lived downtown. And they're like, well, what's it like? And I was like, well, actually, I live in a place called SeaTac. And they're like, what's that? You don't want to have to explain to people where your suburb is. And if people don't know what the Ukraine is, you just, for ease of access, say, from a country near Russia, or you could just say, from Russia. Because then
I always just said, I grew up in the mountains outside of Seattle, because everybody knows what Seattle is. Nobody knew what Graham, Washington was.
I mean, I think people that live here suffer the same kind of fate when you tell people I'm from San Luis Obispo or from Paso Robles or
where's that in Texas?
Arroyo Grande. Yeah, people.
Is that in Mexico?
They're like, where's that? And then you end up saying halfway between Los Angeles and San Francisco on the coast. Okay.
I always tell people right between L.A. and San Francisco on the beach.
So is that anywhere near Fresno? No, I said on the coast.
Sucks to be you. Some guy just paid $518,000 for what was supposed to be Tom Brady's last touchdown pass.
Ooh. Hey, what did I tell you last night in our pre-show meeting? I was like, you watch and see what happens to Tom Brady. Achilles tear on the first drive. So that hang on to that ball. You can hang on to your hopes.
The guy paid $518,000 for it. Oh, sorry, dude. But is it worth anything now? If he goes out and throws 10 touchdowns, 20 I don't know.
It's worth something until the season starts and he throws a touchdown pass. Then it's worth nothing. So you talk about fantasy football players wishing for injuries, man. This guy's really wishing for an injury.
Subscribe to the Jeff and Jeremy podcast now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google, and YouTube. It's your Central Coast commute-friendly podcast.